everyone. Given the function v of t equals 5 cosine of t is the velocity of in meters per second of a particle moving along the x-axis, determine when the particle is moving left, right, and stopped, when the particle's displacement for a given time interval from 0 to 2 pi given here, and if s of 0 equals 3, what is the particle's final position? We're also going to find the total distance traveled by the particle. All right, so the first part, if we have v of t equals 0, that means it's going right, moving right. So if I do a little sign diagram, go from 0, pi divided by 2, pi, 3 pi divided by 2, and 2 pi, it's moving right in quadrant 1 because it's positive. Your cosine is positive in quadrant 1 and 4. It's negative here. So for right, you would say when looking at this, when t is in between 0 and pi divided by 2, and 3 pi divided by 2, and 2 pi, like that. That's right. And this is when it's positive, sorry. Now it moves left when our velocity of t is negative. So this is left, and that occurs here. So that's going to be between pi divided by 2 and 3 pi divided by 2. And it stopped when cosine, you can put 5, the 5 doesn't really matter for this, but so when cosine of t equals 0, if you put the 5, that just, you divide both sides by 5, it goes away. So that happens, t is going to be 0 when t equals pi divided by 2 or 3 pi divided by 2. So this is when it stopped. Okay, so that's part A. Now we have to find the particle's displacement for a given time period. So what you do for that is we're going from, our time period is from 0 to 2 pi. So our displacement equals the integral from 0 to 2 pi of 5 cosine of t dt. All right, so we can move that 5 out, and when you integrate cosine of t, you get sine of t, and we're evaluating from 0 to 2 pi. This is going to give you 5 times sine of 2 pi minus sine of 0, which just equals 5 times 0 equals 0. All right, so that's that part. Now, if s of 0 equals 3, what's the particle's final position? So final position, I'll write it that way. You just take your 3 and add your 0. So that's going to equal 3. And the last step is to find the total distance. So the way you set it up is we're going to go from our intervals that we moving right, left, and set it up this way. So our distance equals the integral of 0 to 2 pi of absolute value of 5 cosine of t dt. So let's split this up and get rid of those absolute value signs. So for quadrant 1, we have 0 to pi divided by 2, 5 cosine of t dt. Plus, now we're going from our quadrants 2 and 3. That's where it's negative. So that's pi divided by 2 to 3 pi divided by 2, and this is going to be negative. So negative 5 cos And then we're back to quadrant 4, so that's going to be from 3 pi divided by 2 to 2 pi of 5 cosine of t dt. All right, so this is going to give me 5 sine of t from 0 to pi divided by 2 plus, this one's going to be negative, so I'll just put a negative here. Negative, let me do a different color. 5 sine of t, so I'm just bringing the negative out, from pi divided by 2 to 3 pi divided by 2. And this one's going to be plus 5, keep forgetting the 5 sine of t, evaluated at 3 pi divided by 2 to 2 pi. All right, so for this piece, we're just going to get sine of pi divided by 2 is 1. So that's going to be 5 times 1. And then you're going to have, when you plug in 0, you get 0. So that's that part. Right, for this piece, we're going to get 5. It's going to be minus. Let me put minus for now. So it's going to be minus 5 times, and this is going to be sine of 3 pi divided by 2 minus 5 times sine of pi divided by 2. All right, so this is going to give me, this piece here is just going to be plus 5 sine of 2 pi minus 5 sine of 3 pi divided by 2. All right, so here we get 5. This is going to give me, I have 2 5s here. I'll take that 5 out. So this is just going to be, this is going to equal 2 negatives make a positive. So we're going to get positive, and we're going to have a 1 here and a 1 here. So this is going to be plus 10. Now this is going to be 0, and then we're going to have negative 5 times negative 1. So this can be plus 5. So the total distance traveled is 20. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.